Long ago, in a quiet village resting at the edge of a vast and ancient forest, there stood a small wooden house. The house was simple, with a sloping roof and softly creaking floors, and it seemed to breathe gently with the rhythm of the wind. In this house lived a poor woodcutter, his wife, and their two children, Hansel and Gretel. Life in the village moved slowly. Mornings arrived with pale sunlight slipping through the trees, and evenings settled softly as the sky turned from blue to purple and then to deep, restful night. But although the days were calm, food was often scarce, and the family worried quietly about how they would survive the coming winter. Hansel was a thoughtful boy, gentle and observant. He noticed small things: how the moonlight rested on the floor at night, how the fire crackled softly before fading into glowing embers. Gretel, his younger sister, was kind and patient, with a warm heart and a steady presence that brought comfort even in difficult moments. One night, as the children lay quietly in their beds, they heard their parents speaking in low voices. The fire burned softly, and shadows danced slowly along the walls. "We have so little food," the woman said, her voice heavy with worry. "We cannot feed the children much longer." Hansel listened carefully, his heart beating slowly but steadily. He felt no panic, only a quiet determination. When the house grew silent and his parents finally slept, Hansel slipped from his bed and went outside beneath the pale moonlight. The night air was cool and still. The moon shone brightly, illuminating the path near the house. Hansel bent down and gathered small white pebbles, smooth and round, placing them gently into his pocket. Each pebble felt cool and reassuring in his hand. He returned to bed, comforted by the quiet certainty that he would find a way to protect his sister. The next morning, the family walked into the forest together. The trees stood tall and calm, their leaves whispering softly in the breeze. Birds sang gentle songs above them, and sunlight filtered through the branches in slow, golden patterns. As they walked deeper into the forest, Hansel quietly dropped one pebble after another along the path. He did this slowly, carefully, leaving a shining trail behind them. Eventually, their parents stopped and told the children to wait while they gathered wood. Time passed. The forest grew quieter. Shadows lengthened. And soon, Hansel and Gretel realized they were alone. Gretel's eyes filled with tears, but Hansel took her hand. "Do not worry," he said softly. "Just wait." When night fell, the moon rose once again, bright and gentle. Its light reflected off the pebbles Hansel had dropped, guiding them like tiny stars along the forest floor. Hand in hand, the children followed the glowing trail all the way back home. For a short time, things felt peaceful again. But hunger returned, quieter yet heavier than before. And once more, the parents led the children into the forest, this time farther than before. Hansel wanted to gather pebbles again, but the door had been locked. All he could take was a small piece of bread, which he broke into crumbs and dropped along the way. The forest seemed deeper this time. The trees grew thicker, the light dimmer, the air cooler. When the children were left alone once more, Hansel tried to follow the trail of crumbs. But birds had eaten them. Night fell gently, wrapping the forest in silence. The children curled up beneath a tall tree, listening to the soft sounds of the night. Though they were afraid, exhaustion soon carried them into a light, restless sleep. When morning came, pale and quiet, they wandered deeper into the forest, guided only by instinct and hope. After a long while, they saw something strange in the distance. A small house. As they drew closer, they saw that the walls were made of bread, the roof of cake, and the windows of clear sugar. The air smelled warm and sweet. Hungry and tired, the children broke off small pieces and ate slowly. Suddenly, the door opened with a soft creak. An old woman stepped outside. Her voice was gentle, almost musical. "Come inside, dear children," she said. "You must be tired." The house inside was warm and calm. A fire burned quietly. The woman gave them food and soft beds. That night, Hansel and Gretel slept deeply, wrapped in warmth. But the woman was not kind. In the days that followed, she revealed her true nature. She locked Hansel in a small cage and made Gretel work quietly around the house. Each day, she tried to fatten Hansel, but he cleverly held out a small bone instead of his finger when she checked him. Time passed slowly. Gretel grew stronger, not weaker. Each night, she whispered comfort to her brother. Each morning, she gathered courage like a quiet flame inside her chest. One day, the woman grew impatient. She told Gretel to prepare the oven. The fire inside the oven glowed warmly, crackling softly. The woman leaned forward to look inside. In that moment, Gretel found her strength. She pushed the woman gently but firmly. The door closed. The fire roared softly, and then grew quiet. The house fell silent. Hansel was freed. The siblings held each other, breathing slowly, feeling the heavy fear lift away like a fading dream. Inside the house, they found treasures, gold, pearls, and shining jewels. They filled their pockets, not with greed, but with hope for a safer future. At last, they left the house and began the journey home. The forest no longer felt threatening. Sunlight streamed gently through the leaves. The birds sang again. The path seemed to open before them. Eventually, they reached their home. Their father ran to them with tears in his eyes. He had missed them deeply. Their stepmother was gone, and the house felt lighter, warmer. With the treasures the children had brought, the family lived in peace. Hunger no longer haunted their nights. And as Hansel and Gretel lay in their beds once more, listening to the familiar sounds of home, they felt safe. The forest was far away. The night was calm. And sleep came gently, like a soft embrace.